Welcome to the Brookmont Interfaith service. With this service, we celebrate Earthday. We belong to the earth. We all belong to the earth. It's not that she belongs to us. It's we that belong to her. It's we that belong to her. A strand in a web are we. A strand in a web, I believe. To own it, we cannot dare to dream. It's a web that we did not weave. It's a web that we did not weave. In sun and in wind and in rain is a seed of what will be. It awakens a power that grows down below. It courses through you and me. The same courses through you and me. And when our spirits take flight and we lay our bodies down, our ashes may be carried away on the wind, and we join the birthing ground. We join the birthing ground. We belong to the earth. We all belong to the earth. It's not that she belongs to us. It's we that belong to her. It's we that belong to her. We begin with a prayer. Source of life, we gather to praise your creation, to honor the swimmers and crawlers, the four-leggeds and the winged ones. We give thanks for the beauty and glory of creation and open our hearts to new ways to understand our place in the universe, not the center or the focus, but a humble and balanced place where every step we take becomes a prayer, where every word we say makes harmony with the vast, vibrating cosmos, and where we are committed to singing the song of life. Amen. Thomas Berry, who was a priest and a scholar of world religion, also studied earth history and evolution, and he came to call himself a geologian. I love that, a geologian. He said, "The natural world is the larger sacred community to which we belong." We know that being in nature helps us connect to ourselves on a deeper level, and beautifully helps us connect to something bigger than ourselves. There's a story about a child who used to wander in the woods near his home every day. At first, his father let him wander, but over time, the father got curious and decided to discuss the matter with his child. So, one day the father said to his son, "You know, I have noticed that each day you walk into the woods. I wonder, why do you go there, even if it's just for a little while, every day?" The boy said to his father, "I go there to find God." "That's a very good thing," the father replied gently. "I'm glad you are searching for God. But my child, don't you know that God is the same everywhere?" "Yes," the boy answered, "but I'm not." The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Environmental activist Joanna Macy spoke in an interview about the transformation of the despair that Wendell Berry wrote about in that poem. She said, "Feeling alarm or outrage or sorrow can guide us to a deep sanity, reminding us of who we are and what we need. It can remind us that we belong to this larger body and that we care for it. Our power to act, our power to take part in the healing of our world, our power to bring things back into balance comes from exactly these strong feelings of connection to the natural world. We don't have to keep them in the form of overwhelm or sadness. We can transform them into acts of care." Our meditation today invites us to expand our hearts and our consciousness to feel our membership in the life of the earth. We will begin with a short song to settle and ground called "This is Home." And then I will mostly read and sing the chorus of a song by Samara Jade. When she presents this song, she tells the story of how a professor of hers once pointed out that birds always sing at sunrise and at sunset, and that, if you think about it, there are birds singing a continuous song all around the world at every moment. A song that has been going on probably longer than people have been here. Her song, Unseen, threads its way through time and space to embrace us all. Let the images come and go, expand with them, feel the earth including you and you embracing it, all connected, all part of each other. So we begin with a grounding song, "This is Home," and you might want to just gently pat over your heart. Give that rhythm that is in all of us, that pulses along with the earth and everything else. This is home, where I belong, in this breath, in this heart. This is home, where I belong, on this earth that gave me birth. This is home, where I belong, in this breath, in this heart. This is home, where I belong, on this earth that gave me birth. Settle into your body, relax, any part of you that needs to be relaxed. Attend to any part of you that needs to be attended to. Take a nice deep breath. I listened to the silence till it was no longer silence, till it was filled up with bird song that had been there all along, till it was filled up with bird song that had been there all along. And I looked into the sunset till it was no longer sunset, till the sky grew darker and it filled up with stars. The sky grew darker and it filled up with stars. They were there all along. They were there all along. They were there all along. The underlying unseen song. And I stopped to smell the flowers till they were no longer flowers. They began to wilt and droop and develop into fruit that turned to seeds and back to flowers that had been there all along. And I searched the world for answers till they turned into questions that shone light upon the answers that had been there all along. They shone light upon the answers that had been there all along. They were there all along. They were there all along. They were there all along. The underlying unseen song. And the light obscures the darkness, and the darkness hides the light, and the stars are still a-shining when the sun is shining bright. Oh, how unimaginable, how many layers go unseen in this dream, in this dream. So much more than it seems in this dream, in this dream. So much more than it seems, more than it seems. And I felt into my sadness till it was no longer sadness, and it was filled up with fullness that had been there all along, till it was filled up with fullness that had been there all along. And I cut through my aloneness until I melted into oneness of the web of shining dewdrops that connects us all as one, to the web of shining dewdrops that has been there all along. It was there all along. It was there all along. It was there all along. The underlying unseen song. And I spoke my words till they were no longer words, till they sounded no different than the bird songs sung by the birds. Still, the birds still sing even when they can't be heard. All of the symphonies get blurred into the colors, and the world is turning, powered by the bird song that has been there all along. Yes, that great wave of birdsong that has been there all along. Haven't you heard the wave of birdsong that has been here all along? It was here all along. It was here all along. It was here all along. The underlying unseen song. I invite you now to take a nice deep breath and to open your eyes. So this next song is in honor of Native Americans who stood and still stand against the desecration of land under their care. The Lakota language is spoken by people of the Sioux Nation and some other related nations. The words Mini-Wachoni mean water is life. We also sing this song to honor all those who transformed their grief and outrage as to what has happened to the earth into productive action. This song asks us to hear the voices of the water, the land, and the ancestors as if they are calling to us. And we must remember that someday we will be the ancestors. Let us leave a stewardship and a legacy to be proud of. All my relations come, every nation come. All my relations under the sun, we are one. We are praying come, we are praying come. We are the song, we are the drum, we are one. We are the river come, we are the river come. We are the boat, the paddle, the shore, we are one. Mini-Wachoni sing, Mini-Wachoni sing. Mini-Wachoni, water is life for everything. We are the water, sing. We are the water, sing. We are the waters, we are where all life begins. We are the ancient ones. We are the ancient ones. In your breath and bones we sing on. We are one. We are the meadow come. We are the meadow come. We are the lark that sings a new day has begun. We are the new day, run, run, run. We are the new day, run, run, run. We are the old and we are the young. We are one. We are the earth and sky. We are the thunder cries. We are the fire. We are the light in your eyes. We are standing strong, like a rock, like a stone, on the sacred ground we belong. We are home. Mini-Wachoni sing, Mini-Wachoni sing. Mini-Wachoni, water is life for everything. We are the water, sing. We are the water, sing. We are the water, we are where all life begins. All my relations come, every nation come. All my relations under the sun, we are one. This reading is from The Awakened Heart by John Robbins and Anne Mortefi. When we experience ourselves, our lives, and where we live as sacred, something changes. When we allow our connection to the earth to touch us deeply, when we open our awareness to include the trees, the clouds, the moon, and the soil as generous companions, when we know that the animals and plants and rocks are our neighbors, then something precious begins to awaken. The forests become cathedrals, and the birds singing in the trees become our choirs. We see that all forms of life are part of a deep kinship, and we begin to realize what a tremendous privilege it is to be able to live in community with the whole fabric of creation. We want to be a blessing in creation, as it is a blessing to us. Let us take our place in the cycle of blessing. Amen, and let it be so.